it was my friend's birthday, and we drank some manufactured alcohol, and later that day, some guy came up to me and was like, hey, can I give you this for what I owe you? And it was some heroin. And it was a lot more than what he owed me, so I was like, hey, all right, cool. So I told my cellie, hey, man, go make up some to make us some money, and, you know, we'll party when I get home. Well, when I came home, I did it, and I looked over at him, and I saw this look on his face, and I go, man, I messed up. And I fell out. And that's the last thing I remember. And I woke up again, and I need you guys to understand that, you know, I've been shot, I've been stabbed, I've been through a lot in my life, but I'm telling you, when I woke up this time, I was scared, more scared than I've ever been in my life. I had a tube down my throat, I couldn't talk, I had all these, and I hear, hey, mother effer. And I look around, and this lady, she's like, you know where you're at? And I was like, you know how you got here? I said, she said, you know who I am? And I look up, it's a correctional officer that I know that used to be my building officer. And I said, yeah. And she goes, you selfish little, son, I had to beat you up right here, you know. And she was talking crap to me. And I went back to, you know, I didn't know what happened, but I was out, you know. And then I woke up again, and I look over, and there's 2 officers, and there's this ICU nurse, and she's like bawling like a child. And I'm like, why are you crying? I'm the one in the hospital. At this point, my body hurt so bad. I thought somebody got me. I thought I got stabbed or assaulted or something. I didn't know what happened. And I look over at her and I said, hey, you know what's going on? She said, I want you to understand something, sir, that 97% of the people that come into my ER in the condition that you came in don't walk out. The fact that you're here today is a miracle. And I was like, so I was being a smart aleck, you know, with her, and and she goes, hey, listen, you know, I've had your life in my hands for the last couple of days, so I think I got a little more respect coming in all this. So if you just want to hold on to all that, let me go take care of my other patients, I'll come back and get with you. And I was like, well, and she goes, yeah, let me just give you something. What date is it? I said, September 22nd. And she goes, not even close. I said, what? And she goes, yeah, it's September 27th. I'm like, what? And she goes, and like I said, I've had your life in my hands for the last couple of days. And when we pulled the plug on you this morning, we had done everything for you medically that we could do. The fact that you're here is a freaking miracle. And you need to give that to God today, bro. And I was just like, I mean, it was bombs going off in my head. I was like, what? I'd been on life support for 5 days. And when they pulled the plug on me, they said, either you're going to breathe or you're going to die. It's on you. State of California ain't gonna foot. They're not going to foot the bill for you to sit on life support too long. They're going to be like, okay, hey, gave him a chance here. If you don't do, you're on your own, you know.
And then there were some officers that had special skills that came and helped you right away.
Well,
when it happened.
When it happened, I couldn't have had a better set of circumstances. 1, they counted early. 2, they had 2 specialists in this field. They had an EMT, officer that was an EMT for 12 years before he was an officer. They had one that was a combat medic in Iraq and Afghanistan. And the one that was an EMT before he was officer worked overtime. So he was there. And so when they went around to do count early, I'd already been out for 10, 15 minutes. I was blue as this shirt. And my cellie was like, when they walked by, he was like, hey, just give me 5 more minutes. And there was blood on his hand from the back of my head because when I fell, I hit my head. I had 9 staples in the back of my head when I woke up. So the officer's like, no, 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 because he saw the blood. He's like, no, no. So they popped the door, they pulled me out, and he jumped right on me. And he was giving me CPR, you know. And see, if you do CPR right, you're going to break a rib or two. You know what I mean? And so for whatever it was, if it was not for some well-trained officers, I wouldn't be here today. Those guys really saved my life. And for Parks and Stewart, man, I love you guys, man. Thank you. But the people involved were just so professional. I was on a gurney. This is from people that told me. the lady was sitting on me, and they were pushing the gurney, and she was giving me CPR, and the other one was running along with a bag, giving me. And so they were going to take me and put me on a helicopter and take me to UC Davis. But I flatlined again. So they had to hit me with more Narcan, and I went out. And so they said, no, we're just going to take him in an ambulance. And they took me straight out to this little town in Jackson. And I'm sitting there like, you know, when I woke up, I was like, I looked like somebody's renovated living room. You know, I was like, wow, what's going on here?